John said that it is very tough to beat Devon on the right arm. His right is definitely better than his left.
It doesn't matter. I'm fine. You can say I don't care if he's got an advantage.
Don't move.
Go! Yeah, Georgie. Foul one more time. Foul one more time.
But Vitaly's got confidence now. If he commits to that broken wrist shoulder press, I think we might see Devon going down. But he also thinks that the flop press is going to be Vitaly's only hope if he wants to win on the right arm. Vitaly does not have the hand strength and cupping of Levan Saginashvili. His wrist will be taken and he has to flop press. But there is a chance that he might do that. Hermes has recently practiced against Devon on both left and right arm, and he also thinks that Devon's left and right are completely different. Devon's right is much stronger. Devon lost on the left arm because he stopped Vitaly too low. He was already close to the pin pad. With his right, he will stop the match higher, and from there, he'll be able to work better. For a presser, it's easier to finish the match if you are already close to the pad when you resort to that flop press. But this time, Vitaly's arm will be slightly stretched out and he will not be close to the pin pad when his wrist gets taken. And since Vitaly is not a natural presser like Kamil Jablonski, he will have lots and lots of trouble from there. Hermes has experienced it himself. When he took Vitaly's wrist, Vitaly was almost in the center. And from there, his flop press couldn't do anything against Hermes. John also talked about the Leonidas versus Brian Shaw super match. He has already defeated Leonidas Arcona, so he knows what he feels like, and he has also arm wrestled a lot against Brandon Allen, although on the practice table. And Brian Shaw has beaten Brandon Allen. So John can predict this match pretty accurately. He has lots and lots of data to compare. And that's why he said that Brandon Allen is no slouch. And yet, Brian Shaw handled him pretty well. And as soon as John saw that match between Brian and Brandon Allen, he immediately thought about this Leonidas versus Brian Shaw match. It's a perfect match as per John, and it is going to be close. The only lane that John had against Leonidas was a flop press. John admitted that he couldn't match Leonidas Arcona's hand strength or his back pressure. So if Brian Shaw also cannot do that, then he too will have to resort to a flop press. But that flop press option will be available, especially after seeing that Brian was able to flop press Brandon Allen. John also believes that none of these guys will have the elbow conditioning to go wrist to wrist in a deep hook, although he would love to see that, but he doesn't see it happening. The match will be contested with top rolls and flop presses. Travis was going back and forth with his prediction on this one. First, he was saying that Brian Shaw is going to destroy Leonidas. Then he was saying that Leonidas is going to win 3-2. But he believes that Brian is carefully checking names off his list to get to the top level in arm wrestling. And Leonidas is just one of the stepping stones. That's why Brian has already won this match. If he didn't think he's going to win it, he wouldn't have confirmed this match.